Hey everybody, this is Gil Valdez Jr. with Galveston County Daredevils. I'm video blogging this week. I'm injured, so I wasn't able to type up my normal blog. So what we're going to do this week is give you a quick recap of the last 2 weeks in a nutshell and let you know what the Daredevils have been up to for those of you that do follow the blog. Okay, starting with the 2 weeks ago, it was Daredevils versus Delta Force. Delta Force had 3 of the Daredevils' former players, and if you follow Daredevil's history, Israel, Albert, and Matt, there's a little bit of bad blood between those guys, especially between Israel and Albert and the rest of the Daredevils team. We won't get into why, but just know that it's developed into a sort of rivalry, a very personal one, but there's never much on the line. And coming into this the game 2 weeks ago, there wasn't much. There was much on the line for the Daredevils. Much more so for Delta Force, as long as the lines of pride and making possibly the 4th playoff spot, which eventually did occur. The game, it was a very sloppy game for the Daredevils, and not for play on the field, but just for a lack of motivation. You know, coming into the game, it was a trap game. We knew that, and you know, I kind of felt like the guys took the night off. We had a couple guys that weren't able to show up, and I'm not making any excuses, but we were missing Brian Rodriguez, you know, our left fielder, who we count on a lot and who is on pace to set the new top Daredevils batting average for the season. Unfortunately, this season we haven't had our scorer at every game, so the books weren't kept properly, and very unfairly to Brian, his batting average won't be recorded accurately. But everybody knows that he has set a new bar for the team. Getting back to the game, though, we had a few guys still in position that we didn't feel comfortable with. We went with it just to see how it was going to go. We figured, hey, if we did lose the game, it wasn't going to affect us that much. At worst, we'd drop to a 3rd place position, and we'd have to pick ourselves up the next week and you know, get a good finish. So, like I said, not making any excuses, but we did play a kind of sloppy game, and the way we played was the result resulted in the score and us losing. You know, by, I believe it was by 5 runs, maybe 4 runs. But a loss is a loss, a win is a win, and you know, really hated to lose to those guys. But hey, you know, when you don't handle your business, that's what can happen. But you know, that's just what happens. You win some, you lose some, and we came right back the next week. And getting into that last week's game, we took on Cutthroat, who we both beat and lost to, I believe, earlier in the season. The very first game of the season, which was our only loss up until the point 2 weeks ago. They were the only team we lost to, and that was the very first game. We didn't have our permanent roster, and like I said, not making any excuses. We should have won. But I think that we showed that what should have been the result of the first game a couple of weeks ago when we took them out also. So last week's game, excuse me, the sticks were back in effect. We made a couple of changes. We brought Eddie Carnales into second base, put Billy Johnson back in right, which worked out excellently. I myself have been injured as a result from 2 weeks ago when I took a fall sliding into third base. So I relegated myself to first base duty and signed Mike Stevenson to third base, and he handled up like a man perfectly, and had no problems. Like, we didn't miss a beat. So with everybody back, I believe we are the team to beat in the playoffs. We're the favorites to win the whole league tournament, and you know, all those other teams better look out. My status is okay. I'm good to go at this point. I will start throwing in the next few days to find out, and if I cannot go, I believe Mike will do just an excellent job over there, and I'm pretty confident I can take first place. So we'll see you next week, guys. Hopefully maybe at the game if you can make it. If not, check back on the blog. Daredevils Weblog is brought to you by Street Dreams Records.